Hello and welcome to another Whiteboard Wednesday training video with Cheeky Scientist. I'm Isaiah Henkel, and today we're talking about 8 resume tips for PhDs that actually work. Okay, so you probably heard a lot of resume tips like use action words that don't really do anything. Maybe you've uploaded resumes online to job postings for jobs that you would be perfect for, but you haven't heard anything back, or you're getting automated responses like thank you for your resume, we'll be in touch, and you haven't heard anything back. If so, you're in the right place. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do in terms of getting your resume past applicant tracking system software. That's the software companies use to weed out your resume. Your resume is not being read because you're a PhD who only has academic experience, and that applicant tracking system software doesn't recognize graduate research assistant or postdoctoral fellow, or it sees a gap and you don't get to explain it, so it weeds you out. It sees that you have no industry experience, so it weeds you out. All right, so how do you get hired? I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you what you need to understand about resumes and what you need to add to your resume to get hired. Very quickly, next week on Thursday of next week, which is July 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing a live webinar on everything that we've learned about resumes for PhDs over the past 3 to 4 months. There's a lot of new stuff. You can attend that webinar for free by going to phdsgethired.com. phdsgethired.com. Sign up, name and email. We'll send you an invite to the webinar for free. Okay, so number 1 here, 80% blind spot. What does that mean? It means that you cannot see 80% of the available jobs online. Only 20% of available jobs are posted online. Most jobs that are available are from small to medium-sized companies. Now, as PhDs, we usually know maybe 5 to 10 companies in our field, the big companies like Intel, Pfizer, Google, etc. But we don't know about the thousands of companies out there that would hire us because we don't have name recognition. We haven't studied industry. We've been studying, academia. We've been studying protein interaction, with only 5 other people in the world. So to learn about those companies, you need to do Google searches such as biotechs in Boston, small biotechs in Boston, mid-size pharmaceutical companies in London or whatever cities near your city or in your city. Small to mid-size does not mean small like 5 people in a lab small, okay? Small in industry means 100 employees to 1,000 employees. Mid-size means 1,000 employees up to several thousand employees. These companies are growing very quickly. They're on the fastest part of their growth curve. You may not have heard of them yet. They don't have entirely built out human resources departments yet, so they're hiring through word of mouth. That means that you need to get to know an employee at that company to learn about that job. Or you need to start doing Google searches, right, for small and mid-size, not just top or best company in XYZ region. All right, so just know that most of the jobs aren't posted online. You have to do advanced research, and good thing you're a PhD in research, you can find the jobs. 10% cutoff. When a job is posted online, as soon as 10% of the resumes that come in are in, the talent acquisition specialists, the recruiters, the hiring managers stop looking at resumes. What does this mean? If you're not one of the very first people to get your resume in for a new job posted online, your resume is never going to get read. That's why even if you see a job opening and it opened in the last few days, your resume is likely not going to get read. Only 10%. So the average number of resumes that come in overall for companies of all sizes is between 200 and 600. Right? 200 and 600. For large companies, again, like Pfizer, Intel, etc., they can receive up to 2,000 resumes per open position. Either way, after 10% of those resumes come in, right? So after usually around 50 resumes or so come in, they're just looking at those 50 resumes. They can't process hundreds and hundreds of resumes physically. This is why they go through the applicant tracking system software first. And any resumes that make it through that, right, which is usually around 10%, and it happens within a day or two, there's a cutoff. So very important for you to do number 3, set up web alerts. Just go to google.com/alerts. and set up an alert for any job title you're interested in. As many job titles as you're interested in, as many companies as you're interested in, and I always do your name too, and maybe your location. Location's a bit too generic, but definitely do job titles, definitely do your name, because you want to see what's out there about you on the internet when you're doing a job search, and do company names that you're interested in working for too. Why? Because anytime there's a new web page or an update to a web page for those companies or for the positions you're interested in, you're going to get an email from Google saying, hey, this just got posted online, check it out. So it's a very quick way to see job postings from all over the world, not just those that happen to get uploaded onto Indeed or Nature Jobs. Number 4, word clouds are your friends. This is a hack that you can use to figure out which keywords are really important to have on your resume. Okay, so if your resumes are going into a computer program, which they are, applicant tracking system software, you want to hack that computer program by making sure your resume has the right keywords for that job posting. Making sure it has the right keywords that were uploaded into that computer program, right? Because that computer program is just scanning your resume for keywords that are relevant to the job. How do you leverage this? You copy and paste all of the job postings you're interested in, right? Put them into a word cloud, and it will show you which words are used the most. This will give you kind of a good feel for which words are important. Then what you do is you target your resume for each individual position. You take just that one job posting, put it in a word cloud, see which words are used the most, the actual words, right? Not the and, but the relevant words to the position, right? Like drug discovery, you might see that at the top. So you want to put drug discovery on your resume because the applicant tracking system software is looking for that word in order for you to make it through the software program into the actual hands of a hiring manager. Okay, so word clouds are your friend. It's a great hack. Number 5, although you want to make sure that you are leveraging word clouds so that you can quantitatively, right, get your resume past applicant tracking system software, you also want to not ignore the qualitative, right? Some common sense things. So for example, a job posting might use the word drug discovery several different times. However, the very last line might mention this is really important for the job, and they list XYZ skill, right? Or at the very, very top or somewhere in there, they list something where they tell you this is really important, but they only mention it once, which means it's not going to come up in a word cloud, and quantitatively it might not be important, but qualitatively or with common sense, it's very important. So make sure you read the job posting too. Don't just put it into a word cloud. Number 6, format versus content. A lot of people get confused here. The format that you use on your resume is very important. There needs to be a lot of white space. You need to have a professional summary at the very top that highlights your 3 most important career successes, achievements. Okay, then work experience, then education, then technical skills, then volunteer experience, hobbies, awards, etc. You can get a free template from us that follows that format. If you just go to our homepage, cheekyscientist.com, there's a drop down where you can get that resume template for free, or you can just go to phdsgethired.com, enter your information there, and we'll send you our template as well. But that's just the template, that's just the formatting. The content's important too, and this takes us to number 7. So how you structure your bullet points on your resume is very, very important. It goes beyond just using the word enthusiasm or enthusiastic 7 times, right? Don't just use action words. You got to be smarter than that, okay? Using action words might work for a job at McDonald's, right? You're not trying to get a job at McDonald's. You want a PhD level job where you can do meaningful work and where you can be paid well for it, okay? This means you need to be very careful on how you structure your bullet points because you don't have a lot of space on a resume. And for an industry resume, it should be 2 pages maximum. Every bullet point should start with a transferable skill, okay? They know you have the technical skills, and they know as a PhD you can learn the technical skills, but they don't know if you have leadership skills, conflict resolution skills, project management skills, budgeting skills, hitting deadlines, right? All of these different transferable skills that are really important to the first people who are going to read your resumes, which are hiring managers and recruiters without PhDs, all right? Very, very important. So what I want you to do is I want you to put a transferable skill at the beginning of every bullet point. At the end of every bullet point, I want you to put a quantified result, okay? Quantified result. Studies show, eye tracking studies, and they've done peer-reviewed eye tracking studies on resumes because people care about this stuff and because it matters. They've shown that if you have numbers, quantified results, that they will spend more time on your resume and they're more likely to get through applicant tracking system software. In the middle of your bullet point, well, I'll come back to that. If you join us for the webinar, I'll tell you what you need to put in the middle of your bullet points too. Finally, number 8, the biggest mistakes that I see people make on their resume is they try to do too much, right? They try to stuff everything in. They have blocks of text, or they have 17 different quantified results. As PhDs, we think that more is better. I want to stuff this full of data. I want to stuff this full of words. I want to explain myself and why I'm good for this position despite the fact that I don't have industry experience. Don't do that. That's the first biggest mistake. We're going to go through the other 6 biggest mistakes. There's 7 big mistakes total on the resume webinar, which is next Thursday, July 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get a free reservation to that webinar, go to phdsgethired.com. sign up with your name and email. That's our Cheeky Scientist Association wait list. People who sign up there are going to get invites to all of our upcoming free webinars. So I hope to see you then. I'll see you next week with another Whiteboard Wednesday training. Until next time, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.